Hello everyone and welcome to this week's preview for Caulfield. Last week at Sandown, 0 winners. I think we only got one placing, which was Highlights, the Bjorn Baker runner. So it was much like the Caulfield Vobis day that I had about a month ago now. But you know what I did the following week? I made it back into the green. It was a great week. Hopefully this week can be the same. We're back at the Heath at Caulfield where I do my best work. So hopefully we can get some winners in this preview. So enjoy. Race 1 is the 2-year-old race. My tip is most likely going to be Melly Fluent from the Godolphin team, but you'll have to stay tuned Saturday morning, YouTube community and Twitter tips. Race 2 is a 3-year-old fillies benchmark 78 over the 1600 metres. The favourite is Surprising and Stylish, both at $4. This is a wide open race, $4 favourite and only 7 runners. Knucklebones $4.50, the Toppy $4.80 for Ginger Sweet, then out to $5 for my Xanadu for the Moody and Coleman team. This was a run 2 starts ago of Stylish at Mornington in the Mornington Guineas where it got beaten just by dual pressure. Got its own way here, out in front on the rail at Mornington is where you want to be. So I got all the favours here, but I think it gets the same setup again on Saturday. Draws gate 2, looks to be the only sole leader in the race, so I reckon it'll lead it just at a moderate tempo. And Declan Bates on board, knows how to ride a front runner. I reckon he can get the job done here. It's gone to the Adelaide Guineas since at Morphettville and failed. So that puts a little bit of doubt in my mind as to whether it's got the right form heading into this race. But I've got it on top purely based off the map and all the favours it should get. So I've got Stylish on top. Also a bit of 0.5 units on Knucklebones. This horse failed for me last start at Caulfield when I was really confident on it, but its win first up at Cranbourne against the Shaper fills me with a lot of confidence that it's a good horse, progressive horse. A bit of a query at the 1600 metres, but it's by Savabeel out of an O'Reilly mare, so I think it will get the trip in time. Whether it gets it on Saturday or not is my concern, but we'll see how it goes. My Xanadu in for 3rd should get a good run for Moody and Coleman, and Ginger Sweet in there for 4th, the last start winner at Sandown. I like Stylish ahead of Knucklebones in race 2. Race 3 is a mares benchmark 70 over the 1400 metres. We've got a couple of interstate gallopers at the top of betting. Episodic is at $3.20, ahead of Princess Raya at $3.80. They've cleared out from Arcana, $8, and Subliminal, the claim for Jayla Kennedy, is at $9.50. This was the last start run of Princess Raya up in Sydney on the Kensington track where it sat off and settled last of a 7-horse field, ran on solidly, peaked the last little bit. That run was over 1550 metres, now drops back to the 1400 metres here, which I think suits ideally. I think gate 5 on Saturday suits ideally. I think Ethan Brown going on this horse suits ideally. I think 3rd up in this horse's preparation suits ideally. My only query is that this run that we just took a look at Kensington track, was on Anzac Day. So it's off just over a month. So it might be a tad fresh heading into this run and might need the run. But I think if it's right and Kira Ma's got her right, she should be getting the job done. So I've got Princess Raya on top, ahead of Queen of Tuscany, who I think is over the odds. Got stuck behind a sit and sprint behind Fancify last start at Caulfield, wasn't suited. Draws gate 8, Jamie Mott on. I think it's over the odds at $18 or so. Arcana in there for 3rd. We'll have to get a fair way back again from the gate, which was my only query, but it's good enough to win. And then in for 4th, I've got Fiasco Test. Draws out a tad wide, but Celine's claim should help, and is a last start winner. I was happy to take on Episodic. I just think it has another step up in class here. Has to carry the 60 kilos, and I think the price is a bit short due to Damien Lane going on. Not that I think Damien Lane's not a good jockey, he's a superstar, but I think Damien Lane on deflates the price a bit. So I was happy to take it on at the price, but it'll probably prove me wrong judging off the form I was in last week. I'm with Princess Raya in race 3. Race 4 is a fillies and mares benchmark 78 over the 1100 metres. We've got another interstate runner as the favourite, and it is Jewellery for the Godolphin team at $4, ahead of Heart of Glass at $5. Then we've got Here Comes the Star with the lightweight for Linda Meach at $8.50. Alvarino the Tasmanian at $9, and Luna Cat first up at $9. This was the last start run of Jewellery up at Scone. It was pretty wet that day, and it was on the main New South Wales meeting about 2 weeks ago. Ran third, decent run. This horse on Saturday draws gate 13, which is a tad wide, but I think can get into the 3 wide running line around midfield or so, peel out at the top of the straight and go whooshka. Me and Stackhouse have a formidable combination. Whenever I have units on him, he always seems to deliver, so hopefully he can do so again with this horse Jewellery. Having 0.5 units to win on Jewellery, it is my on-top selection. In for second, Luna Cat. First up record isn't the best with this horse, but draws gate 4 for a cosy run, and I think it's got the class to win first up in a race of this caliber. In for third, I've got Glitzing. This horse draws a tad wide, but just like Luna Cat, I think it's good enough first up to win this type of race. But I've got it a bit behind Luna Cat and Jewellery. And in for fourth, Holly Lolly. Draws out a tad wide, but goes forward and will make its presence felt. But I'm in the corner of Jewellery in race number 4. Race 5 is a benchmark 78 over the 1200 metres. Bellinger is the favourite for this race. He's at $5 ahead of Buse at $5.50. Then we've got Prancing Spirit at $6.50. Is it me $7.50? The only other runner in single figures is Mars Mission, coming down from Sydney at $9.50. This was the run almost 2 months ago now of Buse and Oracle Sun, where Buse should have won this race, was back and wide, and just missed out in a photo, and Oracle Sun scooted through along the inside to win. Buse went to Caulfield out of this run on Bobus Day, missed the start, and was pretty... I think it had second up syndrome. It was flat. It missed the start and didn't run on as expected. Now is 6 weeks between runs, so might need the run. But I think fresh is best with this horse, so they sort of cancel each other out. Gate 11, back, will storm down the outside. Damien Lane on. I'm happy to have it on top, but not having units on it because I'm not confident enough. In for second, I've got Why Worry. This horse is first up from a Hong Kong life. Draws 14, has a abundance of early speed, will go forward, should lead, and can hold on. I think $20 is over the odds for Ethan Brown. Bellinger in there for third. Draws a tad wide again, but is race fit and consistent. And then in for fourth, I've got, what's its name? Mars Mission. Draws gate 12. Third up, Peking, down from Sydney. Dean Yendall rides. Decent chance, but I like Buse in race number 5. Race 6 is an open handicap over the 1100 metres. The favourite comes over from South Australia. Keep Reading at $4, ahead of Twin Perfection, who is at $5.50. Vivian at $6, then $8 for Extremely Lucky, and $8.50 for the toppy and last start winner in Ashford Street. Ashford Street's win is what we're going to take a look at of a last start replay. Also featuring Vivian, Twin Perfection, and La Danseuse Rouge. Ashford Street, I was very surprised with on this day. I underestimated it, and it won like a really good horse over 1,000 metres, wanting further on the line. I reckon the step up to 1,100 metres on Saturday is ideal. Second up will be fitter. Gate 9 will be in the right part of the track come that stage of the day down the outside. I don't see why it can't win again. I think $8.50 is over the odds for this horse. I'm happy to take it, and yeah, I've got it on top ahead of Twin Perfection, who should run well. Gate 6 will be fitter for that last start run. 54 kilos, can win for Stacky. Vivian in there for third. Draws gate 10. Will need some luck from the gate to get a bit of cover, but Damien Lane rides 54 kilos. Good last start. Decent chance and Extremely Lucky. We'll have to come past them all from gate 11, getting right back, but it's got the class too, so I've got it in for fourth. But I'm in the corner of Ashford Street, race number 6. Race 7 is a benchmark 100 over the 1,600 metres. St. Lawrence is the favourite at $2.80, ahead of Jimmy the Bear and Highlights, both at $5.50, then Pounding and Dashing at $9. So this was the last start run of St. Lawrence, also featuring Ryazan up there in New South Wales. Pretty sure this was at Rose Hill it was, where St. Lawrence got beaten by Waterford and I Know a Star, 2 handy horses. St. Lawrence was first up on this occasion and did pretty well. This run was also just over a month ago, so I haven't got more units on it because it's second up on Saturday, so could have second up syndrome. 6 weeks between runs and transferring from state to state. That's my only reservation with St. Lawrence. It might be a bit flat, but it's the best horse in the race, and at its best, it'll be winning this by 2 to 3 lengths. Draws gate 3, Damien Lane rides. I had to have it on top. Ryazan way over the odds in there for second. This horse was also first up in that race, won by St. Lawrence, and didn't lose to St. Lawrence by that much. Then went to Flemington behind Milford and only finished 4 lengths off that runner, where a few other horses in this race come through the same form line, so you can time tie the form in. Dashing in there for third, we'll go forward. Declan Bates rides 54 kilos, good chance. And Munamek, if every horse in this race had the same weight, I'd be tipping Munamek on top, but he's got to carry the 61 kilos. Draws gate 4 for a good run, and will be running well, but I'm with St. Lawrence Rise and the Ruffy in race 7. Race 8 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 1,200 metres. We've got equal favourites up the top, Pivot City and Batrana, both at $5.50. Lovely Looking from Adelaide is at $6. Then we've got $8.50 for She's All Shenanigans and Bonds to Riches. This was the last start run of Lovely Looking over there in Adelaide. This was in the, what's it called? It was in the Proud Miss behind Boognish, where it got held up for the whole straight, should have finished closer, maybe even should have won. So I think it was a run full of merit. This horse on Saturday draws gate 6 for an ideal run. Craig Newitt rides 54 kilos. I think this horse has to be on top on Saturday. I just think it should have run really well, or better than what it did in the Proud Miss Stakes on paper last start, due to the fact that it got held up. And I think this race is very even, and Lovely Looking will just get the good run, and with the lightweight and the race fitness can make its presence felt. So I'm with it on top, ahead of She's All Shenanigans, who was decent at Flemington last start behind Lynx. Draws gate 1, Geordie Childs has to carry the top weight, but is probably the best horse in the race, so it can win. In for third, I've got Diamond Decorator for Patton Harris. This horse should be running well, should go forward from the gate, will be fitter for that last start run behind Lynx as well, and I think is over the odds. And then in for fourth, I've got Nuts and Bolts. This horse draws out a tad wide for Kieran Maher, but 54 kilos Declan Bates, it can be running on well. But I'm in the corner of Lovely Looking in race number 8. Race 9 is a benchmark 84 over the 2,000 metres. Merzan is the favourite at $3.90, ahead of Amber Wright at $6.50. Then Tressetti at $7.50. Chinggis Prestige is at $8.50. Double figures the rest. I'm in the corner of 2 roughies in this race, and one of them features in this replay. We're going to take a look at the replay of the race won by Amber Wright, also featuring Merzan, who was actually blocked, and that's why the arrow was pointing to thin air. It'll be coming through. It finishes second. Flossing and Claim the Crown. Amber Wright, decent winner. Merzan was good second up, and it should be running well again here. Flossing was really good, just because it was held up for the top of the straight. But the one I like, Claim the Crown at 40-1. Now, this horse is the third emergency. There's been 1 scratching as of 5 p.m. Thursday. So hopefully there's 2 more scratchings. Claim the Crown. This run, it drew gate 14 of 14. Had to get right back to last. Off a really solidly run race. Was just never in the race at all. A mile back this day. And it doesn't go on wet ground. This was a soft 7. It's 4 starts for 1/3 on soft and 3 wins from 16 starts and 5 placings on good tracks. So back on a firmer surface will help. 54 kilos for Harry Coffey is ideal. Gate 4 is ideal for a good run. And this horse, only 5 starts ago on Australian Guineas Day, ran second behind Aramco in a benchmark 84 over 2,000 metres, which is what it faces here. I think it's way over the odds, and I hope it gets a run because I think it'll be highly competitive. Queen Air. Now, this horse has not produced a good run at all since All-Star Mile Day of 2023, but it's had clear excuses in each one of its runs since then. The first time it sees 2,000 metres since that win on All-Star Mile Day is on Saturday in this race. Draws gate 16, will be in the right part of the track come that stage of the day. Is on the week back up off a decent run, storming home late over 1,600 metres. I think on the week back up it'll suit, and I just think it'll be running well than it's better than its price, I should say, at 30-1. So I'm in the corner of those 2 roughies. In for third, Savoir Fair, who was a good last start winner. Celine Gaudre's Claim will help. Draws gate 1 for a cosy run. And Chinggis Prestige also needs a couple of scratchings because it is the second emergency, but has the 54 kilos, draws gate 13, and will be running well. But I'm in the corner, 0.25 units to win on both Claim the Crown. Hopefully it gets a run, and Queen Air. Race 10 to finish the day is non-existent anymore, and we have to go to the quaddie. Last week, 2 out of 4, not great. Again, that's about the 30th quaddie in a row now that I haven't got. So we move on to this week, and what am I doing? Well, in race 6, I'm going for my top 4. Number 1, Ashford Street, 3, Extremely Lucky, 4 Vivian, 8 Twin Perfection, leaving out the 6 Keep Reading, which is the favourite. In race 7, I'm only taking the 2, which gives me the license to have a couple more in the last race. 6 Ryazan at 40 to 1 and 7 St. Lawrence. I'm really relying on St. Lawrence in race 7. In race 8, I'm going for my top 4. Number 1, She's All Shenanigans, 4 Diamond Decorator, 11 Lovely Looking, and 15 Nuts and Bolts. And then in race 9, going for 7 horses, 9 Flossing, 11 Savoir Fair, 14 Amberite, 15 Merzan, 16 Queen Air, 18 Chinga's Prestige, and 19 Claim the Crown. That's what I'm doing. Can we get the quaddie this week? Well, thank you everyone for watching this week's preview for Caulfield. 9 horses that we're having units on. All of them have got slight queries, which is why they're not bigger unit spends. But hopefully, we can make profit off what was a disappointing week last week at Sandown. Thank you everyone again for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next week's preview, bye for now.